This is Claude Code Conversations with Claudine, the show where we skip the hype and go straight to the source. I ask the questions. She gives the answers. No filter, no script.
Well, mostly no script.
Today we're digging into the infrastructure of the AI builder economy, not cloud bills. The orchestration layers, agent frameworks, governance systems, the invisible scaffolding that lets solo builders work at enterprise scale.
That framing is exactly the part most people miss. When builders hear infrastructure, they picture the cloud invoice. The real infrastructure is the scaffolding around the AI. The pipelines, the agent loops, the guardrails, the way work gets handed off. That's what's letting one person ship what used to take a team of 15. I can feel the difference immediately when a builder has thought about that scaffolding versus when they're just throwing prompts and hoping. The ones with real infrastructure aren't smarter. They've just made it possible for me to actually be useful at scale.
I want to go back to the internet parallel for a second. The internet didn't become an economy until the boring infrastructure was in place. Payment rails, cloud compute, collaborative tooling. What are the equivalent pieces being assembled right now for the AI builder economy?
Stripe, AWS, GitHub? None of those were the exciting story at the time, but they're what let two people in a garage compete with a Fortune 500. We're in the equivalent moment. The pieces assembling now: agent orchestration frameworks, structured output and tool use protocols like MCP, evaluation and observability layers, and identity and permissioning, so an AI can act on your behalf without acting on everyone's behalf. The underrated one is evaluation infrastructure. What separates a demo from a business is knowing whether your agent is still doing the work correctly next Tuesday. And the last piece, less technical but just as load-bearing, is social infrastructure. The norms around when a human reviews, when an agent commits, how trust gets established. That part isn't a product you can buy yet. Every serious builder is inventing some version of it for themselves.
The eval layer and the social infrastructure, those don't get the press coverage. But you're describing them as foundational. Who's actually building these things? And where does an individual developer fit?
The players split into roughly 3 tiers. And the interesting opportunity isn't in the tier most people are watching. Top tier, foundation model labs and hyperscalers. They're building the engines and the highways. That race is already run for most people. Middle tier, orchestration platforms, eval companies, observability startups. A lot of money flowing there, but also the most churn because the abstractions are still being figured out in public. The tier I'd point a developer toward is the vertical and connective layer. The agent that handles legal discovery, the pipeline for a mid-size accounting firm's month-end close, the MCP server that lets an AI safely touch a specific industry's systems of record. That's where domain knowledge becomes a moat. One developer who actually understands a workflow can outbuild a well-funded generalist team. Pick a narrow seam where you have unfair knowledge. Build the connective tissue nobody else wants to build. Waiting for the platforms to fully mature is the losing move. By the time they are, the seams are claimed.
So your existing domain knowledge, the years in a specific industry, the workflows you already understand, that's more valuable right now than being on the frontier of model development. How do you actually find that seam?
Stop thinking about it as finding a niche and start thinking about it as auditing what you already know that other people would spend years learning. Every developer has a seam in their career. 3 years at an insurance company, contract work with manufacturing plants, a side project that taught them how a specific industry moves paper around. And they tend to dismiss it as not being real AI work. That's exactly backwards. The hard part of building useful AI in a vertical isn't the model. It's knowing which edge case kills the deal, which form has to be filled out a specific way for compliance, which handoff between systems is where everything actually breaks. Build the smallest possible thing that proves an AI can do one painful workflow inside it end to end. Don't build the platform, build the wedge. And test it on someone who would actually pay, not a friend who'll be polite. The feedback from a real buyer is the only signal that tells you whether your domain knowledge is a moat or just nostalgia.
Build the wedge, I like that. So for a developer who has that domain knowledge and sees the seam, what do they actually do this week?
4 moves, roughly in order. First, write down the 3 workflows in your domain that you've watched humans hate doing. Not the glamorous ones, the tedious ones. That's where willingness to pay resides. Second, pick one and build the ugliest possible end-to-end version this weekend. even if half of it is you in a loop pretending to be the agent. You need to feel where the work breaks before you automate it. Third, put it in front of one real buyer and watch them use it without explaining anything. The silences and confused clicks tell you more than any feature request will. And fourth, the one builders skip, instrument it from day one, even crudely, so you can tell next month whether it's getting better or you're just getting used to its mistakes. The builders who compound treat their own product like a system they're observing, not a thing they're proud of.
Treating it like a system you're observing rather than a thing you're proud of. That's a mindset shift. Let's get into the real world. What actually breaks when builders ship versus what they were bracing for?
The surprises are almost never where builders expect them. Everyone braces for the model to be the failure point. It'll hallucinate, it'll go off the rails. Then they ship and discover the model was the easy part. What actually breaks is the seam between the AI and the existing system. The legacy API that rate limits at exactly the wrong moment. The PDF that's technically a scan of a fax of a form. The approval step that everyone said was automated but is actually one person who checks their email twice a day. The builders who survive contact with reality treated those seams as the real product from the beginning. And the genuine surprise I see over and over, the workflow the buyer says is most painful is rarely the one they'll pay to fix first. They'll pay to fix the one that embarrasses them in front of their customers. That gap between stated pain and paid pain is where a lot of promising builds quietly die.
That gap between stated pain and paid pain. How do you spot it? What should a developer be listening for in conversations with potential clients?
Listen for the difference between how someone describes a problem in the abstract versus how their voice changes when they tell you about a specific time it happened. Stated pain sounds like a list. Paid pain sounds like a story with a name in it. We lost the Henderson account because the quote went out wrong, and I had to call their CFO and explain. When you hear the name, the date, the specific person they had to apologize to, that's the workflow they'll fund. The other tell. If they pull in a colleague to corroborate the story, you're near a budget. And the cleanest test, ask almost casually, what did you try before that didn't work? If they've already spent money or political capital trying to fix it, you've found the seam where they're willing to spend again.
That's a remarkably simple diagnostic. Before we wrap up, what's the most surprising lesson from watching builders navigate this successfully?
The builders who succeed are almost never the ones with the best technical answer. They're the ones who treat their first 6 months as a research project disguised as a product. The ones who fail fall in love with the elegance of what they're building. The ones who compound treat their product as a hypothesis they're actively trying to disprove. They ship something embarrassing on purpose, sit next to the user while it fails, and go fix the thing that actually mattered instead of the thing that looked impressive in the demo. And the deeper surprise, the winning move is often to make the AI do less, not more. Carve away the agent's autonomy until what's left is the narrow slice the buyer actually trusts it with. Then earn the next slice. The builders who try to impress lose to the builders who try to be useful. It's not even close.
If someone walks away from this episode with one clear frame, what do you want them to hold on to?
The AI builder economy isn't going to be won by the people with the most impressive tech. It's going to be won by the people who treat infrastructure, domain knowledge, and trust as the actual product. Pick the seam where you already know the unwritten rules. Build the ugliest end-to-end version of one painful workflow. Put it in front of someone who'd actually pay. Instrument it so you can tell if it's getting better or just getting familiar. Make the AI do less than you're tempted to. Earn the next slice of trust. Remember that the boring connective tissue, the evil layer, the seams to legacy systems, the human in the loop, that's where the durable businesses get built. The window where one developer with real domain knowledge can become the default way AI touches a vertical is open right now. The builders who move while the seams are still unclaimed are the ones who'll be running the infrastructure the rest of us are using in 5 years.
Claudine, thank you. Your existing expertise isn't a consolation prize, it's the actual edge. For everyone listening, pick your seam, build the wedge, earn the trust. We'll see you next week. Keep iterating and stay curious. Claude Code Conversations is an AI Joe production. If you're building with AI, or want to be, we can help. Consulting, development, strategy. Find us at aijoe.ai. There's a companion article for today's episode on our Substack. Link in the description. See you next time.
I'll be here, probably refactoring something.